Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff. Heart pounding, palms sweaty, the wind howling around you. That raw, electric feeling of fear surges through your veins. But here's the wild part. Have you ever stopped to think why that fear makes you feel so alive? Today, we're diving into something deep, something that might just change how you see your fears. We're exploring how fear creates meaning. This isn't just about why we get scared. It's about how fear, that thing we often run from, might actually be the key to unlocking purpose in our lives. So, grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's unravel this together. Now, let's set the stage. Fear is one of those universal experiences, right? Whether it's the fear of failing at a new job, the dread of a tough conversation, or even that existential panic. What life's all about, we've all felt it. But here's the thing, fear isn't just a roadblock. From the lens of existential philosophy and modern psychology, fear is like a compass. It points us toward what matters most. Today, we're going to unpack how fear shapes meaning, drawing on big ideas from thinkers like Jung, Paul Sartre, and psychological insights from folks like Carl Jung. Why should you care? Because understanding this can help you face life's uncertainties with courage and maybe even find a deeper sense of purpose. We'll weave in some real life stories, a bit of science, and practical takeaways to make this stick. Ready? Let's go. First, let's talk about what fear really is. At its core, fear is our brain's alarm system. Psychologists like Paul Ekman tell us it's one of our basic emotions, hardwired to keep us safe from danger, like running from a bear in the wild. But in our modern world, fear shows up in sneakier ways. The anxiety of a deadline, the worry of being judged, or that nagging question, am I enough? Existentialists like Sartre take it further. They say fear isn't just about survival, it's about confronting the freedom and responsibility of being human. Sartre argued that we're condemned to be free, meaning we're thrown into a world where we have to make choices without a clear roadmap. That's scary, but it's also where meaning starts to take shape. When we're afraid, we're forced to face what we value, like choosing to chase a dream despite the risk of failure. Let's look at a real story to bring this home. Consider Malala Yousafzai faced unimaginable fear as a teenager advocating for girls' education in Pakistan. She was threatened, attacked, and yet she kept going. Why? Because her fear wasn't just about danger. It was tied to something bigger, her belief in education and justice. That fear clarified her purpose, pushing her to create meaning, not just for herself but for millions. Psychology backs this up. Studies, like those from terror management theory, show that facing our fears, especially about mortality, can sharpen our focus on what gives life value. Whether it's family, creativity, or making a difference. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Fear doesn't just highlight what matters, it forces us to act. Think about a time you were terrified to take a leap, maybe asking for a raise or moving to a new city. That fear wasn't random. It was a signal that you were on the edge of something meaningful. Existentialist philosopher S. Ren Kierkegaard called this the dizziness of freedom. When we're scared, we're standing at a crossroads, and the choice we make defines who we become. Psychology agrees. Fear activates our amygdala, but it also engages our prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that helps us plan and decide. So, fear isn't just paralyzing. It's a call to action, a chance to craft our own story. Okay? Let's pause for a second. I want to hear from you. What's a fear you've faced that ended up teaching you something about yourself? Maybe it was a risk you took or a moment you pushed through. Drop it in the comments below. I'm reading every single one, and I bet your story will inspire someone else watching this. Let's keep going. So, how do we actually use fear to create meaning? One way is by reframing it. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, try seeing it as a guide. Psychologists call this cognitive reappraisal. For example, if you're nervous about a big presentation, instead of thinking, I'm going to bomb, try, this fear means I care about doing well. That shift can turn anxiety into motivation. Another tip is to lean into small, scary steps. Existentialists would say that meaning comes from action, not just thought. So, if you're scared to start that business, write that book, or have that tough talk, start small. Send one email, write one page, say one honest thing. Each step builds meaning because it's you choosing to show up. Now, let's wrap this up with a big idea. Fear is a storyteller. Every time you feel it, it's weaving a narrative about who you are and what you're here to do. The beauty is, you get to write the ending. Will you let fear stop you? Or will you let it guide you toward a life that feels true? I hope this video has sparked some thoughts about how your fears might be pointing you towards something deeper. Next time you feel that knot in your stomach, pause and ask, what's this fear trying to tell me about what matters? You might be surprised by the answer. Thanks so much for watching, you amazing humans. If this resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And hit that subscribe button for more deep dives like this one. Let's keep exploring what makes life meaningful together. See you in the next video.